Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about having the zodiac sign Sagittarius on the 8th house cusp in a natal chart. Now, first thing I'll look at is as far as the 8th house goes, it's connected with sex and perhaps the kind of sexual partner that one may be attracted to. It doesn't necessarily mean that the sexual partner will be someone that is a Sagittarius sun, moon, or ascendant, but merely may embody those characteristics of one. But it doesn't mean they won't be attracted to one, and it's likely they can very well have some kind of sexual attraction to somebody with Sagittarius as the sun, moon, or ascendant. Now, anyway, when I look at this, this person may be attracted to a sexual partner that is perhaps very buoyant, jovial, jocular, philosophical, somebody that's very optimistic. It might even be somebody that's an explorer or somebody that likes to go on adventures. It could be somebody that might actually even be a philosopher or somebody that's into theology, maybe somebody strongly religious or a person that has religion that figures prominently in his or her life. Now, the 8th house also is connected with transformation and regeneration, and it's possible maybe this person may feel some kind of revival or transformation, perhaps connected maybe with sports, through religion, through philosophy, perhaps through some kind of long distance journeys and traveling, maybe through abstract thinking, the higher mind, through broad concepts, through perhaps a change in philosophy. Now, when I was younger, I used to work out, and I have Sagittarius on the 8th house cusp in my chart, and I felt like I felt compelled, I guess, to go through this transformation, perhaps through changing my physical body and changing that way, and working out is connected with sports and athletics. Unfortunately, as many of you may know, I suffered irrevocable damage to my arms, nerve damage, when I was maybe about 20 years ago, or 18, 20 years ago, whatever, and I haven't been able to do that since. But I'm just saying that as an example as far as some kind of transformation may go. Now, the 8th house also is associated with death. Now, Sagittarius being the fortuitous and fortunate lucky sign that it is, it could indicate that this person might have a death where it's not very devastating or having much actual physical pain or trauma, a very light death. Perhaps this person may die through some kind of long, maybe away from home, traveling abroad. Sagittarius is associated with the thighs and I believe the hips area, so it could indicate that it doesn't necessarily mean that the person will die of any maybe disease or anything that hits that area, but maybe during that period near death, maybe they have experienced some troubles with that hamstring thigh area. So those are some things to consider as far as Sagittarius on the 8th house cusp in natal chart. And this person may have a very, as far as death goes, they might have that fearless attitude, and as far as crisis adversity, might have that fearless kind of outlook as well, and not really have, at least show much fear as far as this goes. Now, the 8th house is also connected with others' resources. Now, this person, it may be very fortunate and fortuitous in connection with others' resources, and maybe someone that seems to manage to get the financial support that they need when they're facing adverse financial situations. I've been in situations like this a multitude of times in my life, and it seems like I've always had somebody to help extricate me from a financial dilemma, and I've been very fortunate as far as others' resources go. As I stated before, I have Sagittarius on the 8th in my chart. Now, I've never really been that affluent or in my life, and I might not ever really feel that strong prosperity, but I do, it seems like I have been fortunate when I've been in trouble. Now, also, as far as the 8th house goes, it's also connected with inheritances. Now, it's funny that I have Sagittarius on the 8th house cusp in my chart, And the last time a prominent family member died, I actually did not receive anything. So I think the reason I point this out is just because if you have Sagittarius on the 8th house cusp, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a prodigious inheritance or inherit a lot of money. I was completely left out, and what you got to remember too, you got to always factor in the whole chart. Now, Jupiter, the ruler of my 8th house, is in the 6th house, and it's in its accidental detriment there, and it makes some negative aspects, so perhaps that has something to do with it. And but at the same time, as I stated before, I've been fortunate in other ways connected with the 8th house. So but it could indicate that somebody might, as far as inheritance go, they could be lucky. It could be very fortuitous. It could be something that factors in prominently, perhaps with their income at a later, maybe at some point in their lifetime. It could also indicate the 8th house with Sagittarius. Maybe there's things connected with religion, with philosophy, the person might inherit. Even sports-related items. It could be sports equipment. I mean, in some isolated cases, and sports-related things, perhaps. So those are some things to consider with Sagittarius on the cusp of the 8th house in one's natal chart. And anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for having Sagittarius on the 8th house cusp in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about having Capricorn on the 8th house cusp in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.